Hey everyone, welcome to the video, and this is Liminati from the GDG community group on Discord and sponsored by Gamazon.com. So basically, one question I get asked a lot is how do I assign rows when the user inputs a command that has a row to be assigned, as well as how do I create roles that'll be automatically assigned once a user joins the server. So basically that's what we're going to discuss here, and you can see here on the GDG Discord server I have an agree command, and basically what this does, it basically would have the user type I agree or the prefix agree, and if they type this command, then they'll be issued the roles to access the rest of the community. Now what that will look like is basically like this. So if I went over to a member, as you can see, when the member first joins, they only have access to the everyone channels that I have put within my server. Until they type the word or the command I agree, they're not going to have access to the rest of the community channels. So if I was to type I agree now, you can see that I have been granted the roles to access the community, and basically you can see all the channels listed now from our community server. And basically how you set that up originally as far as the permissions, if you notice, if you go to edit category and then go to permissions, you can actually set the roles that you want. And of course I want the two roles that I assigned is agreed to rules, which pretty much allows them to read text channels and see the voice channels. And the developers I just put as create invite, because I don't want anyone to have access to create individual invites, so for tracking purposes. So basically that's how you set up. You'll set up all your categories and channels to have the role agree to rules, and set that to read text channels and see voice permissions. Enable that, and that will basically give them access. Once that role has been assigned to them, it'll give them access to that category and the channels that are listed below it. So basically, getting back to Discord bot maker and seeing how you implement those actions in order to create that command. Basically it's only about 14 actions that you will need. And of course the first action we have here is the delete command message that just deletes the command that the user just inputted. And then action 2, what I'm doing here is I'm finding a row with the source field of role name agreed to rules. And this is the role that I created within my server, and this is what it's going to check for. And if it does find that row listed, then it's going to store that row in a temp variable named ATR, or agreed to rules. So then action 3 is the second row that I want to be assigned to a user when they type in agree. Now the reason why I have this as row ID and the first one as row name is because if you used to use two of the same type, for some reason Discord bot maker causes an error and it snowflakes and no actions get done. So I found that if I just change the process from row ID and the next row that I want, if I needed to add a second row, then I can use the row ID and the row ID as the search value. And then I don't know why I stored it as a server variable, but I guess just for easier access to this row with my other commands. And I just named it in a server variable named depth. So basically the two roles that each user will have on their display would be the DBM developers role and the agreed to rules role, as you see here. So the next action is action number 4, and what I'm doing here is that I'm checking to see if a member has the role already. And the source member is the command author. The source role is the temp variable agreed to rules that we created in the action 2. And then if true, if that member has the role ATR or agreed to rules, then it's going to jump to 11, action 11, and if false, it's going to continue the actions. So basically, let's say that they haven't agreed to the rules yet, and they just typed in I agree or prefix agree in the rules channel on our server. So basically, the next action that will happen would be that the source row, we're going to add that member row, and the source role is going to be the agreed to rules temp variable we created in action 2. And the member that is the role is going to be assigned to is going to be the command author, and that's whoever's issued the command. And the reason, if you wanted to, you could just, type in a reason. For here, I just put agree to the rules. So then the next action, being that I'm implementing two roles, once they type agree, I have the source role server variable dev, and again, it's going to be the command author for the user who just inputted the command, and the reason is agree to rules again. So then the next action, number 7, is basically just to send message to the same channel, and I have here is it's going to display the member's name without a ping. If you wanted a ping, you'll delete the .display.name and they'll get a ping. If you just want to display the name, then use .displayName. From here, I have the message you have agreed to the GDG rules. You now have access to the community channels, and we're glad to have you as a DBM-GDG developer member. And that's basically it. I have a 2-minute wait, and then after those 2 minutes, it's going to delete the message, and it's going to then end the sequence. So now the next 4 actions is basically if the user wants to type in I agree once more, this is what they would get. So if I was to type I agree, you can see that the message says, War Maggot, you have already agreed to the community rules. Thank you for your respectful presence within our community. So basically, that's these 4 actions here. So what happened was that it went through action 1. It deleted the command that was entered. It went through action 2 to locate the roles by name, as well as the second role by the ID. And then action 4 checked to see if I already have these roles assigned, being that I'm the one who issued the command. And if I do, then it's going to jump to action 11, which is this send message. And as you can see, you have already agreed to the community rules. Thank you for your respectful presence within our community. And I also have a 2-minute wait, a delete message, and an end action sequence. So that's basically all it takes to assign roles to a member via command. Now, if you wanted to assign a role upon a member entering the server, what you would do is you'll create an event, and then you'll go to the event trigger, member join server. You'll create a variable to store the member that just joined. You'll put member. And then, as you can see on action 1, I have find role by name, and I put agree to rules, temp variable ATR as the stored in, and then the next action was add member role, temp role. The source role will be the temp variable ATR, and the member will be the temp variable member that we typed in here. And that's basically it. So when a member joins the server, they will get automatically assigned that role. But I'm going to delete this because I don't want it to assign the roles automatically. But that's basically it. And if you have any questions, feel free to join our server. The link is posted in the description. If you like the video, click like. And I hope to see you on our community server, and feel free to join. Other than that, thanks. This is Illuminati Games, and hope you liked the video.